You know what, Jaguars fans? It's really been a wild ride to get here, hasn't it? The team's come a long way from having the #1 overall pick in back-to-back years to here. From having clowns in the stands and a head coach who was known for looking like that on the sidelines during games. Hi, Urban. To where we're at now and having a coach like this. Doug Pederson is getting some credit, but I don't know if he's getting enough credit. He really inherited a team that had the #1 overall picks in back-to-back years, and now they're division champs. Only 2 other teams in NFL history have ever selected #1 overall and then went on to win their division. The 2004 Chargers, the 2008 Dolphins. Now, keep in mind the Jaguars had picked #1 overall in back-to-back years, not just once. This roster has no Pro Bowl players. When the All-Pro teams come out in the next few weeks, likely won't have a single Jaguars player on that list either. And they didn't have a player who was ranked in the NFL's top 100 before the season started. So while we may be looking at this roster and thinking, wow, look at all these young budding stars, keep in mind that a big part of their development is that guy, Doug Pederson. I said a few weeks ago that Doug Pederson should be the NFL's Coach of the Year. That was met with arguments for Dan Campbell in Detroit, Brian Daboll in New York, and Nick Sirianni in Philly. And while, don't get me wrong, they've all done phenomenal jobs with their teams this year, none of them walked into a train wreck that Urban Meyer just left here in Jacksonville. Doug Pederson has talked openly about earning this team's trust and helping them heal from the scars of last season. No other coach in the NFL has had to not only be a football coach, but the team psychologist. I mean, his star quarterback in an interview with ESPN said he had lost his confidence after last year's struggles. Keep in mind, Trevor Lawrence has been the guy at every level of his career. Doug Pederson has been just what the doctor ordered for the Jaguars.
I've been here a long time. Cannot say thank you enough to Doug Pederson. Yes, trust me, I see it. The calming feeling, the peaceful feeling of every guy in this locker room knowing we got a general leading us. Yeah. It's real.
The team needed a culture change, for real. Everybody knows, what happened and how the culture was last year. But to come in here, we were a good team, and I've always felt that, We just needed the right one to head it, So I think we got that, and we're definitely blessed, to have him.
They definitely have the right guy now. Look at how the Jaguars season has rolled this year. They started 2-1, lost 5 games straight in October, and now they ended the season on a 5-game winning streak to win the AFC South and make the playoffs. The Jaguars are only the 5th team in NFL history to have a season like that. Here are all the teams that have lost 5 games, won 5 games in the same season, and went on to make the playoffs. Doug Pederson has now been a part of the last 2 teams to do it. The 2015 Chiefs over there, and, of course, the 2022 Jaguars. Pederson's experience with the Chiefs back then helped him to lead the Jaguars this year when things looked bad at the midpoint of the season, and they did look bad. Doug Pederson kept the train headed in the right direction. Doug Pederson should be the NFL Coach of the Year. I know it. Many of you at home know it, and the players in the Jaguars locker room definitely know it, and they've already been campaigning for him.